Office Chief Medical Examiner.
Hi, good morning. Can I please speak to Dr. Wayne Carver?
I think he's doing autopsies. Let me please do his voicemail or his secretary.
Yeah, I'll take his secretary.
Okay.
Good morning, Office of the Chief Medical Examiner.
Yeah, hi, good morning. I had a few questions about the letter that Dr. Carver wrote February 25th, 2011, and it's regarding raised bill number 1054, an act concerning the disclosure of autopsy reports. Do you think it would be possible to speak with him?
Not at this time. He's busy doing autopsies, and then he's leaving early today. What's your question?
It's a little hard to believe. I'll tell you my question. To the press, during his press conference, Dr. Carver stated that he performed an autopsy on Noah Posner, the child who was shot 11 times at close range. And we've been hearing from the family about how he's been shot 11 times and all that, and how the wounds were close-range wounds, right? So, and then I see statements in the newspaper from Veronique Posner, Noah Posner's mother, who said she was adamant that no autopsy was performed. So I'd like an answer on that, on whether or not
an autopsy was
performed.
Did everybody hear the question?
Doctor, can you tell about the nature of the wounds? Were they at very close range? Were the children shot from across the room? Can you tell?
I only did 7 of the autopsies. The victims I had ranged from 3 to 11 wounds apiece, and I only saw 2 of them with close-range shooting. I hope they and I hope the people of Newtown don't have it crash on their head later.
And how are you related to this case?
I'm related to this case because I see what Dr. Carver is doing. I see the letter that he wrote, on February 25th, 2011, to be able to fake people's deaths. And I'm pretty sure that he's mistaken about the autopsy of Noah Posner, because either he's mistaken or the mother of the victim, Noah Posner, is mistaken. So one of those two is mistaken. I also would like to ask him why he resigned.
Now, the same day that he testified at the Cheshire home invasion trial, the state's chief medical examiner dropped a real bombshell.
Dr. Wayne Carver says he wants to quit because the Malloy administration is meddling too much with his operation.
Today, he told me he had a backlog of 18 bodies to attend to, but is so upset he decided to go public about the Malloy administration decision to remove 5 of his 54 employees. He spent most of the day yesterday testifying in the Cheshire home invasion case. Earlier in the day, he had sent an email to his board saying he was ready to quit because of the dismissals. He says these 5 longtime employees do things that no other employees in state government can handle.
Coordinating getting Department of Social Service money or probate money to bury unclaimed bodies. Dealing with the families of upset people.
And he says purchasing of highly specialized scientific equipment can't just be done by anyone either.
It takes multiple years to develop a contract. The maintenance contracts on a $400,000 instrument it's not like a Xerox machine.
The administration says they don't want Carver to quit. Carver says the move doesn't really save any money and jeopardizes the independence of his agency.
When the Connecticut State Administration did not, comply with his request to change the autopsy reporting law, why he had to resign and then take back his job after they agreed to do what he asked them.
All right, I could take your name and number and have him, or you can.
No, I don't.
How young?
Sorry, I don't.
How young was the youngest victim, doctor, and how old was the oldest victim?
Y'all going to have to look at the spreadsheet when we pass it out. I'm sorry. The Paul and Company will deal with that. Paul and Company Lieutenant Vance is going to handle that one. They're wearing cute kid stuff. I mean, they're first graders. They're wearing cute kid stuff. You know?
I would like you to answer the questions. These are pretty simple questions here.
Yeah, I can't answer these questions.
Can you answer if he performed an autopsy on Noah Posner? Because
no,
he stated in his press conference that he did. He stated in his press conference that he did. Listen, this is the bottom line. Is he going to come into the office and respond to these questions? I will be calling back.
Okay.
Will he come back to the office? What's he busy doing? It's not autopsies. He might be writing more bills to Congress to cover his ass. That he might be doing.
We did not bring the bodies and the families into contact. We took pictures of them, of their facial features. You have it's easier on the families when you do that. There is a time and a place for up close and personal in the grieving process. But to accomplish this, we felt it would be best to do it this way, and you can sort of you can control the situation depending on your photographer, and I have very good photographers. But
you know, he's exposed. He has a problem. Okay, let him know about this.
Okay.
People are onto his scam. Okay, he can fake people's deaths because he thinks he wrote this 2011 letter. No, for pediatric autopsies, only pediatric cases. He writes a letter a year before a tragedy, and that'll save him from the exposure that he's going to get. It's not going to work. Okay?
Question was, what caliber were these bullets? And I probably know more about firearms than most pathologists, but if I say it in court, they yell at me and don't make me answer, so I'll let the police deal with that for you.
Okay.
Do you have any response to this? Do you have any response to these allegations?
No, I don't have a response. I do not have a response.
You don't have a response because you're going to lose your job, okay? I have articles that they're getting rid of all their administration, okay? I have one from Connecticut Post, February 15th, that State M.E. Carver withdraws his resignation. I think you know why he withdrew that resignation, because they passed the legislation he wanted. I have an article, Connecticut Post, January 17th, Assistant M.E. charged with perjury. That's you guys getting rid of Carver's old employees, silencing who you need to silence. Okay, I have another one. State worker accused of showing Adam Lanza's body to husband, NBC News, February 2nd, 2013. Worker on leave or fired. Henry's boss, Chief Medical Examiner H. Wayne Carver, performed autopsy on Lanza. Yeah, we're going to believe all of this? We're going to believe that he performed all these autopsies when Noah Posner's mother says no autopsy was performed? And then you have everybody saying that it was 11 shots at close range when no autopsy was performed? What kind of office do you run here? You expect me to believe that you guys cut open Noah Posner and weighed every single one of his organs? You guys didn't do anything. You guys are a bunch of liars, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Do you have any response? I'm providing you with evidence. Do you have any response?
I do not have any response for you.
That's disgusting. It's disgusting that you guys think you can fake people's deaths and just write a letter in February 2011 to not disclose pediatric autopsy cases. How did he know that it would be pertaining only to pediatric cases in 2011?
No.
Dr. Carver's the fortune teller, too? He's a magician? You guys are so exposed, okay? I will keep calling. Get him in the office. He better answer some of these questions, okay? Get him in this office. I'll stay on the line.
He's not available right now.
Yeah, of course he's not. You know exactly what he did. Let him know he's exposed and that the scam is up, okay? The Sandy Hook hoax is coming to an end. Okay? All the donations are coming to an end. This whole fraud is ending, okay? I will be calling back. Get him in the office. Okay?
Okay.
I hope they and I hope the people of Newtown don't have it crash on their head later.
have the people that I've been speaking with as well as myself, one of the things that we really looked at in this whole thing was the fact that if we see any pictures of what Adam Lanza looked like, I'm not talking about pictures of him as a young man or a boy. I'm talking about any pictures that were released of him towards the later part of his life. He looked to be about 150 to 160 pounds from the photos that we've seen. And I have a little bit of a problem believing that somebody who's 150 to 160 pounds drove to the school, dressed in all black, wearing a mask, got out of his vehicle in the parking lot, and strapped 40-plus pounds of weapons and ammunition and armor to his body, and walked up to whatever point of entry he used to enter the school without any video surveillance taking place. I find it very unlikely that an awkward, mentally ill 20-year-old kid with limited training was able to accomplish all of this on his own at random, okay? And the reason why I say this, Sean, is because I do a lot of SWAT training. My friends do a lot of SWAT training. A lot of the guys that I work with are on SWAT or an equivalent unit. They're firearms trainers. And the most, I'm 5'9", about 200 pounds. I'm in really good shape. I train a lot. I shoot a lot. And when I'm wearing full body armor, the most I can carry on me is a rifle, about 12 or 13 magazines, and one pistol. They're basically saying that this kid, who is about anywhere between 50 and 60 pounds lighter than me, with a hell of a lot less training, carried double the load that I would carry, and basically did all of this damage at random without having ever been seen surveilling the school or, it just seems highly unlikely.
And again, it needs to be stressed, no video or photographic evidence supporting anything that would indicate that this young person of that build that you described carried this off on his own. Nothing at all to support it in any way. And again, who were the three men who were detained? Who were the three men? Who were those guys? What sort of magical powers do they have to be detained and then just get to disappear after one of the most heinous school massacres in U.S. history?
We have not been told that any picture images or video footage was obtained of the incident by law enforcement. And to date, I have not seen a single crime scene photograph of the inside or the outside of that school. And I think that is very unusual with the amount of time that has now passed. And if we go by the official story about Lanza being a lone gunman, and that is being treated as it's clear, cut, and dry, then why is the Connecticut State Police saying that the investigation could take months? How much more evidence is there?
You're right. But again, everywhere you turn, just like 9/11, I've always said about 9/11, Mark, you got to buy like 100 magic bullet theories to buy the official story of 9/11. More than 100 magic bullet theories. At least with JFK, you just had to buy one bizarre, idiotic theory. In the case of 9/11, you got to buy hundreds of them, and this feels like the same thing. You have to believe a lot of nonsense in order to believe the official story here.
The problem with these things, Sean, is that when we really start to look at them in detail, we walk away with more questions than answers sometimes.